All right. Welcome back to Franchise Friday, where we are going to finally finish up the Lethal Weapon franchise, the Lethal Weapon Foe. Uh, so, out of all these movies, I think this is the weakest. Not that it's bad, it's not. It just, I don't know. It just seems the weakest to me. Maybe it's the loss of Riggs' hair. Maybe it's the overabundance of comedy, which is not bad. There are a few scenes that are good with the comedy, such as when, well, we'll get to it. But the story is now Riggs and Murtaugh, they're older, and now, okay, so the first film came out in 1987, and Murtaugh was 50 in that movie. This is now 11 years later, which means he's 61 years old in this film. Okay? And, Riggs, he's got shorter hair. He's still with Lorna, but they're not married. She's pregnant, though, which, And Rianne, that's the oldest Murtaugh daughter, she's pregnant. But Murtaugh doesn't know who he is. And it turns out it's actually Lee Butters, or, Chris Rock's character in this film. And, well, at least Joe Pesci has toned down the okay. There's a little bit of that in there, but it just seems like it jumps a little bit. Like at the beginning of this, they're on this like mission or whatever you call it, where they're tracking down this flamethrower guys, and they do deal with that, and it ends with Murtaugh in his underwear, and then they cut from there to on a boat with Leo. The boat gets knocked over, and I guess it has to do with Chinese immigration and slavery. Jet Li is the villain of this film, and he's good, for someone who can't really speak very good English, but I don't know, this whole Chinese slavery plotline just doesn't work for me for some reason. It just, I don't know. Out of all the villains, I think he's probably the weakest. Really, just, I don't know. And if you can guess, Rianne's pregnant, Lorna's pregnant. They're both gonna have a baby at the same time, and they do at the end of this film, almost the same time. And there's a thing in this where everybody but Riggs and Murtaugh knows, basically everyone in the family, whatever, knows that Butters is the father, but they didn't tell Murtaugh, or didn't tell Riggs. Riggs finds out from Lorna, so now they're hiding that from Murtaugh. And this is one of the things I have a problem with. You think there would be some kind of a scene where, like, Butters is forced to tell, every time I say Butters, I think of South Park. Oh, pickles. But, Butters is forced to tell him. But they play it for comedy, because there's a scene where they're trying to interrogate this Chinese guy using they're at a dentist's office. They're using laughing gas, and it, like, breaks or something, and it leaks over the place, and they're laughing. And that's when it comes out, that he's the father, and it just kind of, the son-in-law, yeah, there's like another scene where, like, Murtaugh thinks that he's gay for him, but that Butters is gay for him, but it's not, and there's two different, Murtaugh says he knows, why he's being so nice to him, and Butters comes out and starts talking, and Riggs is just having a good old time laughing his ass off at this, because they both thinking from different points of views and don't realize that he's just laughing his ass off, because it's funny. But a good display of comedy is where Leo, who's a private investigator now, pulls up beside Riggs, Murtaugh, and Butters in their car. And then another cop pulls up, and they're like, oh, we don't know this guy. And they show that they're cops, and then he gets detained or arrested, like alcohol sobriety test for an hour, I think is what they say. That's funny. Then I like, so I was also playing a video game at the time. I was watching this, and for some reason, like, went from one regular scene, like the house, there's a fire, and then all of a sudden it's like raining, and there's water, and Jet Li drowns. I don't know where that came from, but Richard Donner directed all 4 of these films. I just think this is the weakest, to be honest. For me, there's not a lot to talk about, because it just, I don't know, like, I don't get, like, so, I think I mentioned I think it's the second one, I did the second review, how, like, in the first film, they didn't try to force a romantic interest on him, on Riggs, because of his wife, and the second one, they did with that one chick. And all of a sudden, they give him one in the third one. I'm like, okay, he got over his wife quick. But in here, they have him going to his wife's grave. And it's the reason he hasn't remarried, like, married Lorna yet, is because of her. And I just feel like if they had him move on in the second one, if he's banging a chick in the second one, I think it's okay for him to marry. I just don't understand how he can have sex with other chicks, but marriage is too far. Like, if you're having sex with the chick, marriage is the logical next step, and it's just like, you're having a baby with this woman, and you still don't want marriage. They had to get married in a little quick ceremony in the hospital, and they take a picture, and they do the, okay, on 3, which is their little thing that they do, and yeah, everyone's there, Leo, they get a picture, I don't know, but for me, this is just the weakest. I'm sorry. I'll give it a 5 out of 10, it's not bad. I just, I remember the first 2 the most, Third one, a little bit, but I didn't remember anything about this. After watching it, I kind of do know why. I kind of do know why. It's just forgettable for me. It just doesn't do anything. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. But I will say overall, it is a good franchise. They're all decent films. None of them is bad. They're all directed by Richard Donner. Shane Black left after the second one, but they still had Michael Caine's music in all of them. So, yeah, that sweet saxophone still plays in this. I will say this one seems to have the most yelling back and forth. Riggs, Raj, Riggs, Raj. It's a lot of yelling back and forth. I don't know why, Maybe I had to make up for the lack of a guess from Leo. I don't know. But 5 out of 10. So, it's a short one. What are your thoughts on Lethal Weapon 4? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. My next franchise is the Riddick franchise. There's 4 of those movies. So, yes, I'm counting Dark Fury. So, get ready for those. Till then, I'll see you in the next one.